Good evening. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Clearwater Downtown Development Board, 7th of September, 2022. I would like to ask at this time that everyone silence your cell phones and all private conversations. I'd like to remind members to lean forward and speak clearly so the microphone can pick you up. And we'll begin by having our board members introduce themselves, beginning on my left.
Shahab Emrani.
Ray Casano.
Paris Morphopoulos.
Keenan Kinsel.
Terry Nowitzki.
Councilmember Lena Teixeira.
Councilmember Mark Bunker.
Thank you. Okay, now we'll move on to item number 2. And we're going to take up the minutes of the July 6, 2022 meeting. I'd like to know if anyone would like to request any corrections to the minutes.
Yes. I reject the chair's characterization of my closing comment from the last meeting. You said ex officio members' comments should address matters relevant to the DDB business rather than attacking individual members of the board.
Correct.
And I was not attacking Mr. Casano and Mr. Emrani by suggesting that they do something about their blighted property on Chestnut and Myrtle, which I mistakenly said was on Gulf Bay,
Okay.
because I wasn't expecting to speak. As for being relevant, when they sought money from the CRA, Mr. Casano said that both he and Mr. Emrani sat on this very board and said that because of that, they were very interested in getting this project going.
Okay, Mr.
Now,
Bunker.
this building can't be relevant in improving downtown only when they seek $500,000. My suggestion to lead by example is exactly what is needed when the bulk of the empty buildings are owned by their fellow parishioners and, I'm assuming, friends. There could be no greater positive action this board could take than to convince Scientology and its members to stop holding these properties hostage.
Okay,
David
Mr. Bunker.
Miscavige has
Mr. Bunker.
allegedly been chewing
Mr.
Casano's
Bunker,
ass over
I'm
the
calling
bad
you out of
PR.
order here.
Excuse me?
I'm calling you out of order here.
Thank you.
This is a CRA issue. This is not a DDB issue. They are here as DDB members. They are not here
Right.
as people that went to the CRA and received the grant from
And
the
announced
CRA.
that they were DDB.
No, we did not receive a grant. Let's correct that. The city has yet to issue a permit to do the building. So I
Right.
think you're doing this to just basically goad us into reacting. You have a smirk on your face. It means that you're enjoying this. City has not given a dime to us, first of all.
True.
Took them 9 months to give us okay to do the demolition. We've yet to receive an okay to build.
Okay.
Once
My understanding
you
is you're
get
not
your-
getting any money.
Once you get your department approve the plans, we'll
You
more than
had a
happy to
year
build
to
it.
get everything in order, and you apparently didn't.
Please, everyone.
This is a discussion of the minutes. The minutes report what was actually said. Characterizations of the minutes are irrelevant, and the other matters discussed are totally irrelevant to the DDB.
Exactly.
So,
How many people
Thank you.
in the city would agree with that?
That is not for you to bring up at this meeting.
Well, I think this is the best possible place
No,
to
you
do
can-
that,
you can-
because more than any action you could take, this
No.
board is uniquely
This board is
qualified to
not a
tackle
enforcement
the
board.
single biggest problem this downtown has faced for now for nearly 50
Mr.
years.
Bunker, Mr. Bunker, you're straying way off the topic.
The fact
We are
that you try to
discussing-
shut down any frank discussion of this problem should bother everyone in Clearwater, as well as the people
You can
on
take
this
it up
board.
at the appropriate time. This is a discussion of the adoption of the minutes. That is all we are going to discuss. So enough.
Thank you.
So I'm asking if any board members wish to request any corrections to the minutes. Okay?
No?
And I'm looking for a motion to adopt the minutes of the July 6th meeting.
I'll make a motion to adopt the minutes of the July 6th meeting.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so Keenan makes the motion, Shahab seconds. Is there any board discussion of this item? Okay, I'm going to call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It is unanimous. Okay, we'll move on to the next item. Item number 3, citizens to be heard regarding items not on the agenda. Are there any? please identify yourself and limit yourself to 3 minutes, please.
My name is Robert Wild, and I'm the director of the Ukulele Fest in the district, and also an officer with the Tampa Bay Ukulele Society. The purpose here today is to, number one, endorse the function and also the process of your board with your assistance. As you can see from the little flow chart, the anchor of the entire event was the DDB. It caused us to reach a new milestone in our 20-year history, and I think a milestone for the district. We were thrilled to be part of the revitalization and really were overwhelmed by the response. What the chart really emphasizes is all the elements that go into it that need to come together to have a great event and to really have people leaving as they did, being thrilled with the district. Many of them, we've done surveys. It was their first time, and they're coming back. Literally, it came from people saying, where's the district, asking me when are we going back. So, and we've received overtures from entertainers all over the world who want to come for our next one. And full disclosure, I'll be in front of you again. I'm becoming a regular feature, I guess, this coming February. But as you can see, you have everything from the merchants to the CRA, to the city, to the DCMA, Scott Sousa and Sheila Neisler in particular. And in the merchants, I meant to emphasize there the Peace Memorial Church. Tim Belk, who's their music minister, was very, very helpful as well. So we found the process seamless. We had the assistance of Howard and Eric, which made it extremely easy to facilitate, and as much beforehand as afterwards. So when we put the claim in, it was the response was very quick, and literally without that, we couldn't have done the affair in the manner in which we wanted. So we thank you for that, and we hope we can continue. And again, we just want to endorse that the process and the function, from our point of view, is excellent.
Great. Well, thank you very much for those remarks. And we'll look forward to seeing you when you make your presentation.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Did you get a total head count for the people involved downtown?
Well, all of the merchants that we surveyed, they thought it was the largest number they've seen. Now, again, we don't have any numbers on that. They thought they turned their tables 4 times, and an estimate was anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
People were coming from noon for the lessons, and then they stayed on after the concert. Many of them came back. We had about 600 for the concert, so I think the numbers were formidable.
It was great.
Pleasure to have service, Jim.
Thank you. Thank you again.
very much.
Appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. Okay, I forgot to mention that anyone that wants to make a comment, the comments are limited to matters that are relevant to our district, and that if they related to an item on the agenda, you should wait until that item is called. Are there any other citizens to be heard?
Hello, I'm Blair Valentine with the Market Marie, and I simply am coming up here to say thank you to all of you for making it possible to allow this market to happen, from me and the hundreds of vendors that are part of the market. We just wanted to say thank you for the partnership that we have with you, and that I'd be coming back October 5th for a future request for funding for all the markets in the future. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you for coming out and showing your support, and we look forward to funding future markets. At least I speak for myself there.
And even more vendors.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Are there any other citizens to be heard? Okay, we will move on to new business. Okay, as to the presentations for special event funding, there's a time limit of 5 minutes for the presentation, and it will be enforced. Questions from members follow each presentation so as not to reduce the time allowed. That said, 4.1 is not about a special event, but the first public millage hearing and the reading of Resolution 2202. Ann?
Good evening, Ann Lopez, CRA Program Specialist. This first item is to adopt Resolution 2201, which is your first public millage hearing. in accordance with Chapter 200 of the Florida statute, which defines the requirements for the determination of millage and the rules governing truth and millage compliance, the Downtown Development Board must hold 2 public hearings to adopt a final millage rate for the new fiscal year. Adopting this resolution to establish the millage rate is an integral part of fulfilling these requirements. The DDB set a tentative millage rate of 0.9700 mils at the July 6, 2022 meeting, which is the rate that appears at the trim bill notice that was mailed to taxpayers in August. Resolution 22-02 is presented to adopt the millage rate of 0.9700 mils to support the operating budget for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. Any questions?
I don't.
You're asking to raise it a tiny
No, so this is the millage rate that you guys tentatively approved at the July meeting. And this today is your first budget and millage hearing. So this is your first official adoption of that millage. We'll have another one again next Wednesday, the 14th, which will be your final budget and millage hearing.
Just for anyone that doesn't know, by law, we're allowed to impose up to a 1% tax on the property values in the district. And at sometime in the past, we revised it from whatever the figure was. It was an odd figure, and we revised it to just to even it out to 0.9700, so 3% below what the maximum would be. Okay, so are there any presentation questions or any questions of Ann? Okay, are there any citizen comments on this point? All right, I'd like to request a motion regarding adoption of Resolution 22-02.
I'd like to propose a motion to adopt resolution number 22-02.
Very good. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Very good. So we have a motion by Shahab, a second by Ray. Is there any board discussion on this item? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it is unanimous. Let's go on to the next item. Ann, could you take that?
This is the first public budget hearing and adoption of Resolution 22-03 in accordance with Chapter 200 of the Florida State Statute, which defines the requirements of the determination of millage and the rules governing truth and millage compliance. The Downtown Development Board must hold 2 public hearings to adopt a final millage rate for the new fiscal year. The adoption of this resolution is to adopt a budget. The Downtown Development Board approved a preliminary budget at the August 3rd, 2022 meeting that outlined the proposed estimates of revenues and expenditures for the 2022-2023 fiscal year.
Very good. Are there any questions from the board? Okay, I'm looking for a motion, or are there any citizen comments? Okay, I'm looking for a motion to adopt Resolution 22-03.
I move to adopt Resolution 2203.
Very good. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Keenan makes the motion. Terry seconds. Is there any board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 4.3, the July 2022 financial statement.
This item is to request approval of the July 2022 financial statement for filing. Expenditures totaled for July were $14,854.88. Your expenditures are outlined in your agenda item. And your ending balance for the month of July was $440,573. Any questions?
I do not. Okay. Okay, do we have any citizen comments? Okay, I'm looking for a motion to adopt the July 2022 financial statement.
I move we adopt July 2022 financial statement.
Second.
Very good. Okay, so proposed by Ray, seconded by Keenan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous. Okay, now we're on item 4.4. Thank you, Ann. It's now updates on Imagine Clearwater. Howard?
Good evening, Board. Howard Smith, Business Assistant Administrator for the CRA.
I'm here tonight to invite Catherine Corcoran. She is, I want to make sure I get her title, her official title correct. She is the senior landscape architect for the engineering department. As they imagine, Clearwater is a critical piece of development for the downtown area. The goal tonight is to be able to provide you an update on the construction. So with that, I would like to call on Catherine.
Thank you, Downtown Development Board. I made sure Howard got my title right because he called me an engineer the last time, and I don't stand for that. So this will supplement the tour that we just took from the third floor. I call it the balcony tour. So you guys just got to see things from a distance, and I pointed out the main areas. So now we're going to take a closer dive. I was out there this morning and took all these photos for you. So we talked about the Civic Gateway and the water feature, so this is just two views of that. And if I move my cursor, are you able to see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect, great. So this is the dividing line between the Civic Gateway here, that will be to the left, and then this water feature is going to cascade down on this side. So in the second image, if my cursor is the water path, so it'll just cascade down as people go down the grand staircase down into the park. We didn't get to see this from where we were standing, but we are installing 7 pairs of underground trash units throughout the park. Each one of them holds, I believe, about 6 cubic yards of trash, and they come in pairs, one for trash, one for recycling. This expands upon the city's new program. They started out on the beach. The solid waste team has installed a bunch of those. They work fabulously, and this detail blows my mind. The truck that pulls these out and empties them can service 80 units a day, which is just a tremendous amount of trash that can be removed very efficiently. And previously in Coachman Park, for some of our largest events, the solid waste team was running 24/7, just back and forth, because all we had was normal-sized trash bins to pull out. They didn't have the storage capacity, so these are going to help a lot with that. We also have trash compactors that are going in on site, so any of the normal trash units, they can just be pulled out and compacted, so that will be a lot more efficient. Okay, so we talked about there'll be a splash pad and a playground, and there's a restroom associated with that. That's the smaller building here on your left, and you'll notice that there's like a gap space. These are 2 distinct buildings with foundations that abut each other, but they are completely separate. And this is going to be our new dockmaster space. Right now, the little boathouse that's in the northwest corner of the park is servicing the marina staff and tenants. So we're building them a 1,200-foot new space with shower, laundry facility, ice machine, that kind of stuff, and a beautiful space for our marina staff to spend time in. And the existing boathouse will be repurposed to be the maintenance shed for the Parks and Recreation team that will be maintaining the site. All right, so this is a better view of that beautiful pedestrian bridge that we just got a peek of the corner of it. So you can see everything about it is complete except for the approaches to it. I put my feet on it for the first time a week and a half ago, and I'm prone to taking pictures of my feet on new stuff, but I didn't include that in the presentation. But this was super exciting, and I'm sure that this is going to become a beloved feature of the park. In the right image, this little retaining wall right here, that's where the playground abuts the lake, right? And so that's a great overlook point as well. Of course, that's only the temporary fence. We'll finish that up later. And zooming in on that, some of our playground equipment has already arrived, okay? You can see these little pink flags. There's a couple of them, I'm sure that it's a little too small in your photo, but those all mark the locations of foundations for our playground equipment. So that's going to be happening here in the next couple of weeks. I will be testing it out myself. I want only the best for the citizens of Clearwater, so I will let you know if you're interested what kind of an experience I have once that's in. Very, very cool stuff happening. And then our Baywalk Promenade. So this was also not visible from where we were standing, but this is the area that runs along the seawall, and it runs the entire length of the park. You can see that we've allotted for a tremendous amount of space for very flexible events. We're envisioning the same kind of activity as we have at Sunsets at Pier 60, so just like completely open, free areas, whatever people want to do. We believe that this space will be able to support it, and of course we have our lights. These are some of the first light poles that were installed. They're beautiful, and it really starts to kind of humanize the space. It's not just hardscaping, and this poor man, I didn't ask his permission, but I put him in there so that we can kind of see the scale of things. So that's going to be a beautiful park feature. And of course it faces Clearwater Beach, so you'll find it on those stairs at sunset. And now, the big feature of our park, the band shell. This is from the rear. This is taken from the southwest corner. So what we're looking at is the windows of all the dressing rooms for the talent in the back of house. This is the second floor, an elevator access to our VIP area, and this is our concession booth that's right underneath it. And if you can barely see it, this is the roof of the library, just to give you a little bit of perspective on that. All right, from the front, you guys saw this from where we were standing. It's just a little bit up closer view. So this is our stage area, right here, going along the side. And these pieces, of course, are already installed. They've been in since the middle of August, and these pieces are waiting to be installed over the next couple of months. We anticipate that the entire canopy will be completed by the end of November. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. It was very exciting to get those 4 mega columns in place, and it's just going to get more exciting as the rest of it starts to take shape. All right, just a closer view of the stage so that you can see about how big that was. And here's me behind the camera pretending I'm on center stage, and everybody has come to see me, right? This is a view from center stage to the VIP area. I got a couple of questions from you guys about, like, what is it, like 2 levels and things like that. This is easier to see from down on ground level. So this is the first level of it, and then connected by staircase and elevator, this is the second level. And they both face exactly to the stage. Right, inside the back of house, so get a good look because you might not be able to unless you're famous in about a year. This is the dressing room area, so all of these white pipes poking up, that's what we call a stub up, and that's conduit for plumbing and electrical, things like that. So you can see that this is starting to take shape very rapidly also. These walls didn't exist, I believe, 2 weeks ago, so things are moving very quickly. I felt like this was exciting when I took the photo, but that's just me working in construction. This is the interior of the event restroom building, and it's exciting because we have walls and we have lighting.
Progress.
Yeah, thank you.
Progress.
I know I have a strange filter I view the world from, and then I get up here and nobody cares about that. And then we talked about the art walls also, so you can see that 2 are already poured. So here's one, here's the other. This one is formed and ready to be poured. And then this man, helps provide us a little bit of skill. And we talked about how that's an opportunity for mural type installments and things like that. Right now we're deciding on what kind of lighting we want to light them up at night, which will just be beautiful once they're finished. Right, so I want to make my plug for ImagineClearwater.com. That's where you can find the 3D model rendering of the space when it's completed, still images from that model of some of our key amenities, and our 2 live webcams at any point in time. And they are visible 24/7. There's enough light out there that anybody wanting to tune in can take a peek. And anytime you have questions about what you're seeing, let Howard know, Howard or Matt, and I'll be happy to answer anything you've got about that. And with that, that concludes my virtual tour of Imagine Clearwater. Do you have any questions for me?
Keenan?
Are we on schedule?
We are on schedule, you bet.
Nice.
Awesome. Beautiful.
Anyone else with a question?
Yeah, we're on schedule. So.
Okay, well, thank you very much for the tour upstairs
You're welcome.
and also for this presentation. Very nice.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Let's move on then. Okay, so we'll move on to item 4.5, and this is to review the request from the PSTA, Jolly Trolley Coastal Route.
Again, Howard Smith, CRA Business Assistant Administrator. I want to preface my conversation with, if you have specific questions for PSTA, please let me know and I will forward them to them. And I cannot answer PSTA questions. With that being said, the purpose of this item is to approve funding for the Jolly Trolley Coastal Route operated by Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority, PSTA, and a new 3-year initial agreement with a 2-year extension with the negotiated rate for the fiscal year of 2028 services. The DDB adopted a multi-year agreement with PSTA on December 21st of 2018, which supports the operating costs of the Transit Authority in Pinellas County. The Jolly Trolley Coastal Route connects riders to downtown Clearwater and Clearwater Beach, along other destinations in Pinellas. This service meets downtown revitalization goals by providing additional low-cost transportation choices to connect tourists and Pinellas County residents to downtown Clearwater. With that, the current agreement includes a 5% annual escalation of a base service cost that will end this year in September of 2022. And for that, it totaled $18,465 that the DDB provided this year to PSTA. With the new agreement that we're looking for you all to review and adopt this evening, PSTA new escalation rate of 6.4% with the annual financial contribution starting in fiscal year 2023 through fiscal year 2027. And what you have in front of you on the screen, and the lower escalation rate gives the actual amount of what PSTA will be paid for fiscal year 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. So the way to take and review this sheet is that for PSTA services over a 7-day week period, the total estimated cost is total hours are 17,289, and the cost to operate is $95.01 an hour, totaling $1,642,628 in totality. And of that, the Clearwater DDB will fund 1.4% of that, for the first year being $20,466. So with that, I will be open to answering any questions you may have. But again, if it's specific to PSTA.
Okay, I have a contract question, and maybe you can answer it, or maybe Elise can answer it. And I didn't think that we had the authority to encumber us in future years.
This is a multi-year contract, but each year the board has to vote on whether they are going to fund it. And if they determine not to fund it, the PSTA has the right to cancel the contract or go forward with the people who are willing to fund it.
Okay.
But it does not bind future boards to funding it.
So it's a non-binding expression that,
Well, it's the same as when we did the marina. Each year, although it was a multi-year contract, each year the board had to vote whether or not they were going to fund it and move forward with it. So it's renewable upon the board funding it.
I
And
understand.
that's why every year PSA would come out, the current agreement that was in place, and go over it with you.
Excellent. Any other questions? Excuse me.
Very clear.
Okay, are there any citizen comments on this item? Okay, I'm requesting a motion regarding the PSTA Jolly Trolley Coastal Route blended rate and funding agreement. Can I have
Motion to adopt this agreement.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, so we have a motion from Terry, a second from Ray. Do we have any board discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Very good. And Lopez, item 4.6, take it away.
Good evening again, Ann Lopez, CRA Program Specialist. This item is to request for one member of the Downtown Development Board to serve on the canvassing committee as part of the 2022 election. The purpose of this item is to request that the DDB establish a canvassing committee to process the ballots for the upcoming election. The canvassing committee will meet on Tuesday, October 11th, 2022 at 3 p.m. at the Pinellas County Supervisor of Elections office to count the ballots. The DDB shall appoint one member to serve, who is not up for election, to serve as part of this committee to assist CRA staff.
Okay, so are there any questions, first of all, as to what this entails or what it's about?
Done it.
No.
Okay, do we have someone that's willing to volunteer that isn't running for election? Very good. So we have, I'd like to request a motion to approve the appointment of Terry to the canvassing committee.
Aye.
Okay, do we have a second? Okay, Ray makes the motion and seconds it. And- so it's Ray's motion, Shahab seconds. Okay, so is there any board discussion?
That was very simple, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for volunteering, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's a done. Thank you, Ann. Okay, old business, item 5.1, updates on CRA enhancement projects. Eric, please.
Eric Santiago, CRA Public Relations and Programs Manager. We've had a lot of updates actually on Cleveland Street that I hope you have noticed. First, the new planters that close the street down for the pedestrian walkway are installed and the plants have been installed. Further down on Cleveland Street, we've added 2 new trees. There were previously 2 dead palm trees that have been replaced with brand new myrtle trees. So shade providing trees have been added. Station Square Park, new furniture has been installed. It now has 30 tables with seating for 120 people, plus 24 Adirondack chairs. Every single table has an umbrella. That's all in place. 2 programs that we're continuing to work on, the marketing grant program. The development of this program is on hold currently until the CRA reviews the DDB interlocal. And the Pinellas Trail, a scope of services has been developed for that project and is being reviewed by multiple city departments, as that project does involve several people to get that executed. So we are continuing to move forward on getting those projects done. Any questions?
Go ahead, Gina.
Are you responsible for the new wraps on those solar panel trash bins?
I am not.
Oh, just curious. I mean, they're great. They brightened up the whole street. They were putting them up today.
Oh, okay. I believe those were developed by the public communications team. So give them your kudos.
It looks great, and I look forward, I should be able to, I think I can make time to see how the food truck will operate in the area tomorrow. I think it's coming tomorrow, and that's exciting. Since we funded for that, it'd be very nice to see how well it does. I hope they do better than the last one.
Yes.
I heard some comments from, I forget exactly who I was speaking to, but they were giving me rave reviews on the furniture, the new furniture in Station Square Park. Apparently it's a big hit and very appreciated, so thank you for that. Is there any other comment? Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to item 5.2, the CRA update. Matt, please.
Good evening, Board. Matt Jackson, CRA Assistant Director. I have a lot of updates for you. Just touching on, since you just talked about it, the food truck rally attracted more than 250 people. It was very well attended, and we're looking forward to tomorrow's event. Hopefully even more people, so thank you for your support. We're in the final stages of hiring a director for the CRA. I believe it's on September 16th. There's going to be a meet and greet here in the library from 5 to 7 p.m. So there's 2 prospective candidates. So we'll give the public the opportunity to meet these folks. But hopefully we'll have a new director named within the next few weeks. Speaking of new staff members, we did bring on Vicki Shire as our special events specialist, who has absolutely hit the ground running to be planning, implementing, supervising robust, well-attended special events downtown. And she has a full schedule coming up. So we're very excited about that and the opportunity to bring people downtown who are familiar with it, but even more importantly, folks who are not familiar with downtown, getting down here, getting new visitors. I did want to introduce her to you in person tonight, but she was not available to make the meeting, so I'm hoping next week. At 1250 Cleveland Street, that's the property just west of the old Verizon building, the Frontier building, just a little bit northeast of Nature's Food Patch. This coming CRA meeting, we're going to be presenting a second amendment to a development agreement, but keeping that project moving forward, which is 81 units of affordable housing between 30 and 80% AMI. So we're very excited for that, for some much needed housing to continue moving forward. So that's very exciting. And then the last thing I wanted to mention, a topic, a subject near and dear to my heart, cheeseburgers. We have the owner, Dave, the new owner of the 530 Pub and Grill here. I believe he did want to say hello if it's okay. Yeah. Can you approach?
Yeah. Sure.
Dave, come on up. And since Dave has moved in, I've been there twice, and both times the food and service was excellent, so thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to introduce myself, because I'm new, so trying to first meeting. But I'm David. My wife Erica and I just bought the Pub and Grill about 3.5 weeks ago. So I've been trying to learn who everybody is, see what to do. I know Howard.
Everybody knows how
We all know how. Rob, this guy back here, so. But other than that, I wanted to introduce myself so that you can all get to know me, because I plan to shake things up and bring a little bit of my knowledge. I ran radio stations in southern Colorado, so I know marketing. I've been working a lot with Sheila and Vicky. And I mean, every Friday night I've been bringing live music. I don't know if you guys knew the Autumn June show last Friday night was pretty big. We had over 80 tables go through 530 Pub and Grill.
Nice.
So, I mean, trying to bring downtown Clearwater back to its glory days, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
So let me know what I can do to help you guys. And we'll be participating in the Sips and Strolls and everything. And like I said, I plan to be a lot more vocal. So I want to try to get everybody together. I noticed that I feel like there's divisions in all of the groups. I think that if everybody works together, then we can all be successful.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed?
Very good.
We all like money, right?
And burgers, and you got great
Burgers.
burgers.
Burgers. Oh yeah, we're going for the best of Tampa Bay next year.
Nice.
Good.
I think Thirst Guy's been there a little bit too long. And thanks, guys.
Pleasure to meet you.
Okay.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to the neighborhood, and best wishes for great success.
Thank you, Nick.
Okay. So now, was that it for your update, Todd?
That's all, thank you.
Very good. Okay, so now we'll move on to item .6.not, the chairman's report. So some announcements. Food Truck Thursdays has been mentioned, is tomorrow, September 8th, at Station Square Park. And I think it's 11 to 2, is 11:30 till 2?
11:30.
11:30 till 2 p.m. Well worth a visit if you can. I think they're going to have 3 different food trucks there tomorrow.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Barbecue empanadas and I believe Kona Ice.
Right. Then the Market Marie will be on Saturday, September 10th, and that's at Court and Myrtle. And that was Blair from Market Marie that came and spoke to us earlier. Then the Public Art Walk presented by the Clearwater Arts Alliance. That's on Saturday, September the 17th. And then Daydreaming, Nikki Butcher's hand-painted photography, is open through February 24th, 2023 at the Clearwater Public Library. It's free to the public. I encourage you all to avail yourselves of that opportunity. There's a full calendar of events and additional details at our website, www.downtownclearwater.com. And with that, we'll move on to board members to be heard, beginning on my left.
First of all, I really like to thank the CRA team, because what we do here is volunteer. We're a few hours a month, and you guys are doing the wonderful work. And it's, from our end, I'm speaking, I think, for all, even though I haven't asked them, it is appreciated.
Absolutely.
Because what you do, it reflects on how this city operates in downtown. And it's been about almost 3 years, 2.5 years that I've been on this board. Where we were and where we are at, it is just incredible, and it's because this team, CRA team, has been just doing a great job. Personally, I really appreciated the gentleman from Ukulele Foundation and lady from the Market Murray to come actually tell us thank you for funding them, because I think we've been funding almost, I don't know what percentage, I would say high 90s of anyone who came here. We just gave them money, and I haven't heard from a lot of them that how well they've done because of that or whatever. So it is appreciated you come and let us know that it's working. That is, it's really appreciated. And with that,
Yeah, I would like to thank the CRA and the library for that tour. It was more than I expected, all the stuff that you offer, and everybody should know about it. I think that'll really help bring people downtown. And I loved the view of the new waterfront project. And I was amazed that you're going to get 9,000 people in there possible. That means we can get some really good acts. You know, I mean, top-of-the-line acts at 9,000 people, because, you know, Ruth Eckerd Hall only holds 2,200. So I'm expecting some really nice concerts coming up, and I definitely will be there.
Very good. Keenan?
Yeah, but thanks for the tour. I don't know that we should call this a library anymore after what I saw. I mean, if anybody who sees this video, there's an audio-visual room where you can bring in old VHS slides, film, and they'll transcribe it into digital for free, basically. And then there's these different rooms. People could basically start their own business right here with all the, anyway, you should just come check it out because there's all kinds of services here that I wasn't aware of. So anyway, thanks.
Ditto on that. I remember several meetings ago when the city manager came and said that we would partner with them on their expansion on the Imagine Clearwater, and I hope that that is happening because we have a lot of money and I would love to help partner on that to help, you know, see that through in any way that we can help them.
Very good. Lena?
So Clearwater, downtown Clearwater has faced so many challenges for so long, and it's exhausting. And so when we get fresh blood, when we get new people who are excited with energy and new ideas, it always is very contagious. And so I was walking with my husband one late evening, and I saw Vicky alone walking the streets late at night, scoping the area, getting ideas, and we did some brainstorming. I think that's above and beyond. And her excitement was infectious, and that's all we need, right? Constant rejuvenation. And I also want to welcome, there he is, Dave. I've been hearing such wonderful things about you and your wife. And you are also a breath of fresh air, and you've excited a lot of people with your attitude and your willingness to be part of the solution. And so I thank you, and I welcome you.
Yeah, the 5:30 Grill is terrific. We had you cater our last council meeting. So look forward to putting you in heavy rotation. I'm also incredibly excited to see the progress on Imagine Clearwater. It's great to see the park going up, and that is wonderful news. Which makes up for what really angered me is we lost an affordable housing project down here, which we really need. We need people living, working, playing here. And unfortunately, David Miscavige wanted that property for L. Ron Hubbard Museum. So that project that we had funded is leaving town. And that's not right.
Very good.
Thanks.
Just out of curiosity, since we're the board members, shouldn't we be the only ones that say something in her? Just out of curiosity.
We allow it.
No one's listening.
We have made a long-standing practice to allow
It's our choice.
everyone to speak. It is our choice, but it is a tradition to allow them to speak, even if what they say is disagreeable or reprehensible. So.
All right.
So my final comment is that you received an email, all of the board members received an email inviting you to the CRA meeting on Monday to discuss the DDB and its funding. For those of you that have not read it, please have a look at it. For those of you that haven't responded, please respond. And I plan to be there and to address the concerns that were raised. There was a considerable amount of information that needs to be provided to provide what's actually going on with the DDB, and also to correct some statements that just were not accurate. Okay, so we'll just, if you watch it on Monday, you'll see what my opinion on it is or what the facts are.
Can you announce the time and place?
It's at, I think it's right here.
It's 8 a.m. here on Monday. You all have been invited. They would like, like an open discussion, is what I've been told. And You all have received the memo. I did, you haven't read it. I didn't get it to you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. The memo I did in response to the points raised and providing an overview and a history of the DDB, just so that some issues could be corrected. I did not send it to the two ex officio members because they were, I was asked to let Mr. Jennings send it to the council members, and wasn't really sure where you guys fell on that, but I figured definitely council members, so you will be getting the memo from him. So, yeah, but like I said, you all are invited, and they want a discussion. 8 a.m.
8 a.m. on Monday.
Yes, that was my reaction too.
That's a
Okay.
tough one.
Okay, so we had a fairly long agenda, but we moved quite briskly, and at 6:15 in the evening, this meeting is adjourned.